And how is everybody doing? My name is Alan Roberts. I hope you are all having a fabulous day. I certainly am busy working on the Hunger Free and Happy app, upgrading and when we can, doing all sorts of things just to make sure that the people that are on that app get the most experience that they can. For instance, if you're on the app right now, and you'll see this, you should have just gotten a pop-up about it. But if you're on the app right now, you can click on the banner that says Hunger Free and Happy at the top of the app, and you can download all 3 of our books for free. So please do check that out. Give me 1 second. We are very happy with what's going on with how we've transitioned over. It's been amazing so far. We are just kind of using the clients that we have as beta tests. You guys are doing awesome. We appreciate you motherfuckers. It's one of the reasons why we're giving you a free book or free books. It's all three of the books, so check that out. But today I thought we would talk very seriously about the dangers of ultra-processed food and why we should be, in fact, making sure that we are not ingesting these in high quantity. Let me see here. Let's get to it. I have a whole thing written up for us. So here's the issue, right? What we're seeing in society right now is basically people are addicted to these foods. They're addicted to ultra-processed foods. We don't want to admit that as a society. We don't want to have any part of saying that most of society has some sort of very serious addiction that is in fact killing them and destroying society. Because trust on this when I say this, and I mean this with my whole heart, there is nothing more pressing to America, to the literal country, than the obesity epidemic. There's nothing more taxing, nothing more burdensome, nothing at all that we can possibly say is not bad for us, right? Like, this is the problem. We have normalized being obese, but we've also normalized eating ultra-processed food-like products instead of food. My wife used to say all the time, people started treating treats like they were food instead of treats. These things are not good for you, clearly. This is not even a debate. Like, I can't even believe we're having people, now that the food pyramid got flipped, we're having people defending ultra-processed foods. You're defending the thing, like the likely thing that has led to hundreds of millions of deaths across the world. Like, we should not be ingesting these things. We definitely shouldn't be ingesting them in 60 percentile range. That's what Americans ingest this shit as. 60%. Some children are up 70%. Children, young people. This is a huge problem that we, for some reason, do not want to address, in our society. And I don't understand why. Like, we need to get there. And I mean, much, 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 much faster. We need to get there very quickly because, frankly, we don't have time. Like, we literally do not have the time. We are over the tipping point already. I say this all the time, and people do not want to. Do not want to agree with me, but we're well over the tipping point, right? Like, we are at the stage now where we can't save everybody that needs saved from the ultra-processed food addiction that they have. We can't possibly save everybody. So therefore, we are at the stage where there's going to be people falling out in the next 5-10 years. Like, look at what we got going on. All these people that eat these tremendous amount of calories for views. Do you think that they're going to live a long time? They're already through their health span. Does everybody understand that? Like, there's 2 different types of spans. There is lifespan, which that just means how long you are ticking. Like, that's your lifespan, is how long you are ticking. Health span is being able to adequately enjoy your life. And these people that are 300 plus pounds are over, they're not in their health span anymore. We've got 13-year-olds that they're out of their health span. And that's a problem. And partially because we are ingesting a tremendous amount of ultra-processed food-like products as a percentage of our daily total calories. It's one of the things with the Hunger Free and Happy app. Even the people that will join it for free, you can see the differences in ultra-processed food percentages. Like, that's why we did it that way. Because even though these people are going to be on there for free, and there's going to be ads, of course, and there's not going to be ads for any paid tier. There's no ads. But for free, there's going to be ads, but you'll still get to see the ultra-processing percentage that's in food. And that's a huge thing to us. Like, for our, like, how we help people lose weight, keep it off, people need to recognize that they are addicted to ultra-processed foods, that they're addicted to sugar, addicted to ultra-processed foods. If you keep ingesting something and it's hurting you, and deep down you know it's hurting you, and then for some reason you keep ingesting that, you've got a fucking problem. And I would argue that that means that a huge portion of the population has got a fucking problem. You know, like when the majority of the population is obese, because we are over 50% obesity. Waist to height ratio, I would probably place obesity at somewhere around 70%. Waist to height ratio, somewhere around 70% of the population is obese. That is a public health nightmare that we are not talking about for some reason. I know, I'm not a doctor. I was just right about COVID the entire time. That's how you know I'm not a doctor. Anyway, so, except for you, Alan Chen. You're a smart motherfucker. Anyway, ultra-processed foods, UPFs, defined by the NOVA classification system as industrially formulated products made from substances extracted from foods like oils, sugars, and proteins combined with additives now account for roughly 55 to 60% of daily caloric intake among U.S. adults, even higher rates up to 70% among children. You guys are fucking poisoning your children. Sugar is the addictive substance that we market to children in America. Fucking get over it. Among children and youth, the high consumption contrasts sharply with recommendations to prioritize whole, minimally processed food, and extensive scientific evidence demonstrates that detrimental side effects across multiple domains. Like, here's the thing. We have people bitching about healthcare, but we don't have people bitching about fat people. If you're bitching about the price of healthcare, you should be bitching about fat people. They're the ones driving it up. Right? Like, it's not elderly people. Elderly people, we have already assumed elderly people are going to need a certain amount of care. That is kind of a constant. We are not, in fact, increasing that. As a matter of fact, we probably have less elderly people now that we, killed a bunch of them off in 2020 by putting infected people back into nursing homes. Great fucking job, you fucking geniuses. But we also need to consider that we might have even less old people, and that is going to be a finite. We are always going to have old people that we will take care of, right? But when you are chronically ill and you're not elderly, then you're chronically ill because you fucking lifestyled yourself there. You drank yourself, ate yourself, or smoked yourself there. Like, you are a burden willfully and greedily upon all of fucking society, you piece of shit. Just saying. I outline the reasons to avoid ultra-processed foods as much as humanly possible below. So the impact on individual health risks versus chronic illness. Ultra-processed foods are engineered for hyperpalatability, just like drugs. And often in high added sugar, salt, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives with low fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This leads to overconsumption. People that eat ultra-processed foods normally can ingest about 500 calories more than people that don't, at a minimum. Just so you understand this, 500 calories eaten over your maintenance level every single day for a year will put 50 pounds on you in the course of a fucking year. If you all of a sudden switch where you burn and or eat 500 calories, burn 500 calories more and or eat 500 calories less, like any combination, you'll lose 50 pounds in a year. This is fucking simple shit that we have somehow made to seem overcomplicated so we can in fact fucking make sure we sell sugar to children, basically. People eat 500 calories per day on UPFs diets more compared to minimally processed ones per a 2019 NIH randomized control trial. Nutrient imbalances, inflammation, and disrupted gut microbiome fueling a cascade of chronic conditions. A 2024 BMI umbrella review of 45 meta-analysis involving nearly 10 million participants found convincing evidence linking higher ultra-processed food intake to 32 adverse health outcomes, including cardiometabolic disease, mental disorders, and mortality. The physical decline of chronic illness. Ultra-processed foods promote physical decline through mechanisms like excess caloric intake, insulin resistance, oxidative stress, and endocrine disrupting from additives, emulsifiers, and preservatives. Key conditions include obesity and weight gain. Ultra-processed foods are linked to 55% higher increased risk of obesity. A 2019 inpatient trial showed participants gained 2 pounds in 2 weeks on an ultra-processed food diet versus weighing on a matching minimally processed scale. That makes sense because if they ingest 500 calories extra a day, 500 calories over 2 weeks is going to be 2 pounds. Because 500 calories a day is about a pound. It's about a pound a week, excuse me. Type 2 diabetes, higher ultra-processed food intake increased risk of diabetes by 40%, or 12% per 10% increase in daily consumption of ultra-processed foods. So we have some people. So we have some people that eat 70%, like children, right? They're 70% more likely to get type 2 diabetes. So, like, if you ingest 50, you're like 50% higher, more likely. Fucking crazy. I mean, like, so it's 12% per 10% increase in ultra processed food. So if you eat 70, you have an 84% higher likelihood of getting type 2 diabetes if you eat 70% ultra processed foods, like most children. If you eat 50, you have a 60% higher. Like, this is science. We know, like, this is reality. We know this shit. But yet people just keep fucking bombing it in on the sugar. People just keep ingesting it. Like, it's cool, right? The federal government uses tax dollars to subsidize the sugar industry. We pay to subsidize our own poisoning, basically. Great. Cardiovascular disease, ultra processed foods increase cardiovascular risk, mortality by 50%, and heart disease by 66%. Processed meats, sugary drinks, all that good shit is what's killing you, motherfuckers. Cancer, ultra processed foods, overall risk of cancer with a 29% higher collateral cancer risk, colorectal cancer risk in men. That is like nitrates. It's also very bad for breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, liver cancer, kidney disease, those sorts of things. Gastrointestinal respiratory diseases, ultra processed foods disrupt gut microbiome, leading to irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, and higher risks of gastrointestinal cancers. They also increase chronic respiratory illness, other physical decline, multi-morbidity. Combined cancers and cardiovascular disease rises with ultra processed foods. Long-term effects include reduced life expectancy, a 21% higher all-cause mortality, and frailty in older adults. The mental decline and illness, ultra processed foods affects brain health via inflammation, brain-blood barrier disruptions, and altered dopamine responses, similar to addiction, as I always say. A 2022 meta-analysis of 17 studies, 85,000 participants, found a 53% higher odd of combined depression and anxiety symptoms with ultra-processed food intake. You don't say. You don't say. It's crazy. Depression risk increased 20 to 22%. A 2023 nurses study of 31,000 women that linked 9 UPF servings a day with 50% higher consumption. 9 is less than the government was telling you to take. Anxiety and stress, 48% higher risk of cross-sectional data shows 48% higher anxiety odds. Cognitive decline and dementia linked to neurodegenerative. A 2022 study found that ultra-processed foods tied to cognitive impairment and 41% higher sleep disorders. It also increases, if you ingest 20% or higher in ultra-processed foods, there is a 28% increased rate of decline of cognitive behavior and a 25% increased decline of executive function of brain behavior, which is like critical thinking, self-awareness, logic. Explains a lot, doesn't it? Addictive-like behaviors, ultra-processed foods hijack reward systems, leading to food addiction symptoms. Duh. Impacts on community and society. High ultra-processed food consumption exacerbates health disparities, straining social fabric. Low-income and marginalized communities face food swamps flooded with cheap ultra-processed foods, but you can still somehow manage to not be fat. Environmental impacts. Ultra-processed foods environmentally degrade beyond agriculture. A French study found ultra-processed foods, 90% of diet, contribute 24% of GHG emissions, 23% water use, 23% land use, and 26% energy demand. So in other words, if you actually say that you're for the planet and against climate change and blah, 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 all that stupid bullshit that you can't prove is actually fucking happening, besides the planet may be getting warmer, you can't prove we're doing it. But if you did think that, you would be mad at every fucking fat person. If you actually believed in climate change, like human-made climate change, you would hate every fucking fat person for their overconsumption. Every single fucking one of them. Higher energies for processing, packaging, wasting, plastic pollutants, those sorts of things. Waste and emissions. Ultra-processed foods contribute up to one third of diet-related food waste and GHG emissions. Reducing UPFs could lower emissions by 21%. This harms ecosystems, worsening climate change and food scarcity. Ultra-processed foods. This is the economic impact. Impose massive costs despite being cheap to produce. 55% for 100 calories versus $1.44 from processed. Globally, unhealthy diets, heavy ultra-processed foods generate $8 trillion in hidden costs from NCDs, 70% of $12 trillion total agricultural food waste. Healthcare burdens, it's $147 billion annually for many of this. It could be much, much higher. We probably spend about $4 trillion a year on people that eat too much, drink too much, and smoke too much. Oh, by the way, damn. Here's the 5 more years been free. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. I appreciate you greatly, greatly, greatly. I'm going to reach out to you and send you a link to join our app. On me, of course. And let's see here. It lowers productivity. It's the food system economics. Is basically where it shifts cost to taxpayers. Inflation exacerbates this. Crazy shit. So let's see. Impacts on Republic and the nation. Ultra-processed foods threaten national stability by fueling a chronic disease epidemic that undermines public risk, economic vitality, and security. The U.S. spends $4.3 trillion on healthcare, 18% of GDP, much of which is tied to illness, probably $4 trillion of it. Obesity disqualifies 31% of military recruits, posing readiness risks societally. It erodes equity, widening divides, and straining public resources. Medicaid covers 60% of SNAP users. Higher disease burden. Globally, ultra-processed foods displace traditional diets, fracturing cultural identities and local economies. So basically, when you look at it, when you try to pretend that ultra-processed foods are not the biggest problem, that obesity is also not a massive, huge issue, this is where we fall. This is where we have problems. Like, this is where, like, we as a society don't end up doing well. You know, we do not end up doing well at all because we are sickly and weak and we're fucked up, and it has to change, right? Like, I can only say so much about this shit. Like, it has to change. And again, I want to provide as many tools as humanly possible. Like, and I know I'm going to keep. And you guys, if you don't want to see it, you're not going to be happy with it. But I'm going to be talking and sharing our app as much as humanly possible, obviously. But hang on, I got to get you. Here we go. So, if you have not joined already, by the way, please go to hungerfreeandhappy.app and you can join. Hang on, I'll get that for you. And you know what? You can join us for coaching sale also if you're interested. But here you go. Join hungerfreeandhappy.app, please. Check it out. If you wanted to talk about just the ultra-processed food and what it does, like basically I can go right here to my nutrition. And this is one of the reasons why I love our app, why I think it's just amazing. So let's go to one of my favorites, pizza. Pizza is 65% ultra-processed. Like, our app actually tells you, it is right here. So the crust is a rich flour, everything like that, blah, blah, blah. Like, we tell you why this is ultra-processed. You know, I mean, and the reason being is we want you to understand. And we also want you to minimize it. Like, I'm not going to eat this, obviously. But if you take a look at my weekly ingestion of it, my average percentage of ultra-processed food is somewhere around 4%. So to me, that's what we need to be watching for to a great degree. I wish they still offered some sort of subsidy incentive, even a smaller one, for people like me who have little land but want to raise chickens, quail, improve our gardens. No more factory farming. Everybody should grow their own food. Like, most people should grow their own food. People should have rabbits and quail. Like, there's very little reason why we shouldn't be way more self-sufficient. Like, there's so many ways that we can make it so we don't have to have the grid. You know, like, for instance, water. Do you know that there's things called hydro panels that can pull water out of the air, like plenty per day? Like, houses should be built with these things. Houses should also be built with rain collection systems. That way, anything that pours off your house, you get to use for, like, watering your garden and shit like that. Like, there's so many things we could do to make people more sufficient and eating less of this ultra processed shit. Like, there's so much, and we just need to get to it. So, I wanted to thank all of you. And my name is Alan Roberts. Please do check out the app. We are going to be launching fully hopefully on the Google and iOS store within the next couple of weeks. We appreciate you very, very, very much. If you join Premium and up, you'll be on the chats. The way it works is there's free, which is going to have ads on it, and it's very minimal use. You can still see your ultra processed food percentage. Ad free, same thing, just no ads. Basic, which is everything besides chats and challenges and the workouts. You can still record your activity. Premium is everything except for coaching, which is daily communication in your own private chat, including all the workouts you can do right on the app, those sorts of things. And then coaching is coaching, of course. So please do check all those out. I may be back later in the day. I do not know. I have lots of stuff going on, but I might be back later in the day. I cannot tell you how happy we are that we're releasing this app. And you'll be so slowly over the next couple of months. We're kind of beta testing right now and then releasing. You can join, and it is functional, and you will very much enjoy it. So please do check it out. Oh, and as a matter of fact, one thing I wanted to show everybody right now, if you join the app right now for a limited time, if you click on this thing right up here, Hunger Free and Happy, it takes you to go get our books for free, and it will take you there. So it's going to take a minute. Anyway, all right. So everybody, I hope you have a great day. My name is Alan Roberts. I might be back later. Goddamn.